to be confirmed. Then the 4.2 is doubtful recovery of value-added tax refund. As previously reported, the statement of financial position reflects trade and other receivable balance of Kenya shilling 687,608,856, which includes VAT refunds balance of 48,584,233 as disclosed in note 24 to the financial statement. Examination of documents provided for audit review revealed that application for VAT refunds totaling to Kenya shillings 48,584,233 were made between April 2011 and June 2018 to the Kenya Revenue Authority. However, as at the time of the audit in September 2025, no refund had been received by the company in respect of this application. Further, no evidence was provided to show any further attempts by management to recover this refund from the Kenya Revenue Authority. In the circumstance, the validity, accuracy, and recoverability of trade and other receivable balance of Kenya shillings 687,608,856 could not be confirmed. Paragraph 5. Trade, creditors, and other payables. The statement of financial position reflects trade, creditors, and other payable balance of Kenya shillings 297,298,943, which includes trade payable balance of Kenya shillings 100,127,216 as disclosed in note 36 to the financial statement. However, review of the trade payable aging analysis revealed that trade payable balance of Kenya shillings 44,357,076 shillings had been outstanding for a period of more than 30 days as shown in the table below. In the circumstance, the propriety of trade and other payables balance of Kenya shillings 297,298,943 is in doubt.
Governor, you can read out the two responses for receivables and then payables.
Thank you, Chair. On long-standing trade receivables. Trade receivables over 7 years are as listed below. 1, we have the client and the amount. Commercial and industrial customers, amount is 1,823,064.59. Domestic is 253,273,165.75. Government institution 45,409,912. Water kiosk 497,624. And for schools 298,267. University colleges 353,267.9. all amount totaling to 301,655,302. For domestic clients, most of the debts were inherited from the Deepang Municipal Council, and the clients are untraceable because of population movement, subdivision of land, and ownership of accounts by tenants. For other accounts, that debts are attributed to standing charges that were being levied by the company regardless of the consumption. For government institutions and schools, there is an ongoing collection effort supported by Annexure 4.1. The management intends to offset customers' deposit with related in the outstanding debts. The company intends to write off long outstanding and irrecoverable debts through the CEC Finance and Treasury, County Government of Uasin Gishu, in order to get specific provision for the bad and doubtful debts.
To the second part of that query. which is doubtful recovery of VAT refunds.
Okay, the management response is that the main reason for delayed payment totaling 44. The doubtful recovery of value-added tax VAT refunds. The VAT refunds were as a result of the changes in tax laws in 2018 that changed the natural water from being a zero rated to tax exempt, making the sale of water not claimable as in input tax. The initial claim was 93,338,325. The company had been proactively monitoring and addressing the issue. Efforts made by the company to the tax agency have not resulted in any negotiable progress. The company commits to intensify efforts in concluding this matter. A summary payment is shown as you see below, that the description and the amount. Opening balance July 2018 was 93,338,335. Amount received 2018-2025 was 33,404,921. Amount disallowed 11,349,181. Closing balance as of June 2025 was 48,584,233. The breakdown of VAT refund as follows. There is description, there is an amount, and there is the status. So July to September 2012, April, June 2013, and January, June 2018. Amount was 15,290,331. Status, the claims can be traced and are under KRA and MST department. And then another description was April, June 2011, January, December 2014, January, September 2015. The amount was 33,293,902. KRA officers have recommended further engagements with the management, all totaling to 48,584,233.
You can proceed to also read the response on payables.
The main reason for delayed payments totaling 44,353,076 was cash flow. Challenges experienced by the company in the year under review. Also, the company has repayment plan with some suppliers including WASREP on regulatory levies and WRA levies which had a dispute in the court. The company's credit policy in 60 days and the difference of 55,770,140 falls within the 2-month credit period and are therefore current. Efforts have been made to reduce the creditors as at 31st December 2025. The outstanding balance for the payable had been reduced from 100,125,216 to 16,275,295 for specific suppliers that were outstanding at the time of audit. This includes 12 million owed to WRA, which is still under legal dispute, and payment plan exceeds on the outstanding of 4,275,295 and lecture 5.
Okay, Auditor, you can comment on all those. I think there are 3 responses. Comment on the 3 responses.
Thank you, Chair. For long outstanding trade receivables, we are still saying the matter has not been addressed, despite the fact that the client has demonstrated the effort they are putting in recover VAT refund from KRA. and in the event the refunds are not recoverable, then other appropriate measures should be taken to write off these balances from the books of accounts. And for trade and other payables, the matter is partially addressed because we've seen management has provided sufficient evidence or explanation to fully address the substantial overdue trade payables, and therefore we feel the matter still would be escalated, and we'll keep on monitoring. The outstanding amount of 16 million is now manageable. Chair.
I don't know if you have further comment, Governor, before I bring in members.
Let me give the MD to respond.
Thank you, Chair. On long outstanding trade receivables, so we are saying that the debts actually are long outstanding over 7 years, and we are in the process actually of identifying the ones which will not be collectible, so that we can be able to write off. And I know it will be, but for the existing, we are doing efforts, and we've been able to collect, and our collection efficiency now is at 106%.
For the write-off, you have said you intend. When do you intend to write off recoverable debts?
Yeah.
We've already a time frame.
Sorry. We've already started the process of actually identifying these debts, because we want to do a specific provision for the debts which are not recoverable. So we believe before the end of this financial year, we should have been able to come up with a list that it goes for write-off.
Senator Eddie?
Chair, thank you for the opportunity. You know, Eldoret Water Sanitation Company Limited will be the primate water provision WSP in the city of Eldoret. Therefore, we cannot take it lightly in any measure. This audit query on outstanding trade receivable by the auditor is very specific. If I get it, you have got long outstanding receivables, money owed to you by people of 301 million. And these people have been denoted by the auditor as customers. They are customer debts. Whether they've taken 10 years or they've taken 1 year doesn't matter. It matters that they are your customers. Some of them might be still in your distribution lines, or some of them might not be. But there has to be clear strategy on how this money gets back. Because if you just say that, oh, they are long-term debts, therefore write them off, what about if they are conduit for corruption? You cannot write off 301 million just because they have taken so long to collect. Because maybe somebody was using this as a conduit for corruption. They are using the WSP to siphon some money. And the second part of that query is that the management, that is you, and actually written liability, there are written liability of bad debts provision of 60 million out of this. Saying that there is 60 million that you're claiming that this perhaps warrants a write-off. But the query is there was no justification for that write-off, which qualifies what I've just said. So can you separate these two? Start by telling us why was there a written liability of bad debts on the 60 million? What was the justification for that? Is there a schedule of those debtors of the 60 million, and how you justified that for being liable bad debts that warrants being written off? And then subsequently, what happens to the remaining 240 million? Is there a schedule for it as well? Because they are denoted as customers. Do we have a schedule of those customers? And how do they feature in terms of bad debts that could be written off? because this is a balance sheet problem that must be solved in the dignity that a primate WSP or a city should be taken off. So, Chair, if we may start with the 60 million, what was the justification? And then after that, go to the 240 million balance over the 301 million.
And then, just as you answer that, in your response, you have given a schedule of the receivables, which is totaling to 301 million. But when you go to the annexures, you get the sense that the letters that you have written do not match with the schedule. For example, there is a letter you've written to the county government of Gishu demanding for 28 million. But that is not reflected there. There is also a letter you've written to Treasury CS demanding for, is it 44 million that was spent on IDPs? But that is not reflected on your schedule because the total government amount is 45 million. But the letters suggest that it is more. Yeah. So can you explain that? I think let's handle that and then we come for another round.
No, it's just related so that
yes.
Mine is just a simple one because I think when this MD was responding, he said some of these debts are historical from those days of the municipal council. So I also wanted him to highlight or itemize and tell us, especially the one on the domestic, how much of this was before devolution, before devolution, so that those are the ones that maybe now you are saying you want to write them off because you are unable to identify the customers. So it's also good to break down.
That you are answering on behalf of the governor, so the governor should always give you the permission.
Let me give him the permission.
Unless you have handed over your governorship.
Thank you, Karibu.
Thank you, Chair. To start with the 60 million that we are saying, this 60 million, for clarification, the 60 million we had provided for the previous financial year as a general provision. This financial year under review, we actually wrote it back because we wanted to do specific provision. So this is a provision that we had provided, general provision. But we say we cannot do a general provision and we have the specific provision. So we wrote it back so that now we can have a list of the specific provision. The reason why it's taking long is that we don't just want to write off these debts. We want to really follow the PFM Act, identifying the specific and identifying the customers, whether they are still available or whether they can still be collected in any other way. So that's why we are taking long to be able to come up with a specific provision. Chair, the list that we gave of 301 million